Hello, my wretched rabble of rip-roaring rodents. It's time for another turn in my all Warhammer Nations Dominions 5 game. I'm playing a Skavenblight, it's turn number 63. Let's crack on. This is quite a big turn, a couple of really pivotal things are going to happen this turn, and you'll get to see how I react to them. So the first thing we've got is another level of blood magic. I know we're doing evocation level 8. That blood magic level gets us access to Heliophagai, who are like demon, devil lords. They're like winged creatures of blood, and they have various powers and things. Pretty great Heliophagia, but I don't know if I'll be casting any because I've got other things to do with blood at the moment. Vintis has cast Mind Hunt. Arnold managed to resist the spell. I don't know why the orcs have got a commander called Arnold. I presume that's just like a scout or something. Or maybe it was yeah, they had a bunch of independent priests in the H1s, so he has resisted being blasted. That's a bit of a waste of a Mind Hunt. We've got a Haruspex, we didn't find anything. We cloud trapezed in our Queen of Elemental Air, and I had totally forgotten, if you cloud trapeze onto a fort that's being sieged by an enemy, then you just cloud trapeze inside the fort. So if they had managed to storm the fort, this would be relevant, but I was hoping to hit the army outside, so that was an unforced error on my part, so a bit of a mistake there. Never mind. Thankwell, the famous Grey Seer, has cast Mind Hunt. Arnold has managed to resist the spell, so Arnold has now shrugged off 2 Mind Hunts. That sucks. Later class Cloud Trapeze, he was the one who was accompanying the Queen of Elemental Air, so another wasted Cloud Trapeze there. But anyway, he's in position to help with other stuff on the Orcish front, I suppose. Skritter has cast Mind Hunt and killed Anselm, so another one of their little priest lads got zapped. And I presume they actually built a lot of these independent commanders just because I had so many assassins attacking them earlier on in our conflict. So I kind of provoked them into it. And Gedambar just cast Mind Hunt and actually hit an orc rather loud, and he killed them. So the mind hunting was not super useful, but it killed a couple of things. Oh well. Now, our global enchant was dispelled and another global enchant was created. What global enchantment was this? Well, the Dire Portent doesn't give us much information. It just says it's Itza. And it doesn't say very much, which means that it's one of a small list of global enchantments. You may have been able to guess already. It's Arcane Nexus, probably the most powerful global enchantment that there is, which generates a huge amount of gems for the person who cast it. So basically what Arcane Nexus does is every time somebody casts any spell or forges any item, spends any gems, which are not blood slaves or astral pearls, you get half of those go to you, basically the caster of Arcane Nexus. So they straight away start getting huge amounts of gems. I'm immediately going to try and dispel this. I've got Thankwell casting a dispel on it, and I'm overcasting it by 70 pearls. Because I have so many gems, and because I've realised that with Arcane Nexus going up and all the other things the Lizardmen can do with their very high research, I need to end the game basically. I don't want to be in a horrible late game war with the Lizardmen with their super high research, and I've realised that I think I can end the game quite soon by just grabbing a few more thrones. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. I hope that this will distract them, me just immediately trying to blast it. I hope that I do dispel it, otherwise I'll have just thrown 100 Astral Pearls down the bin, which would be pretty bad. But yeah, the global enchantment that I lost was unfortunately Forge of the Ancients. So I guess it's okay in a way because I don't plan on casting anything or forging anything that would give gems to the lizards right now because they just use them to recast Arcane Nexus if I do manage to dispel it. But anyway, we're going to try and do a dispel of it. I should succeed overcasting by 70 with Thankwell with all my astral boosters on him, but if I don't, that would really suck. I'm not very good at the whole like guessing how much somebody would have put into a spell and like working it out based on what turn number it is and stuff like that. So I just have put a huge amount in there. I've still got tons of gems left. I have a ridiculous gem income in this game. It's almost embarrassing. Like I've had way too much gem income this game, and it's been really really powerful for me. But I can only really play with the mods as at the current version that they're at, and Skaven have this overpowered gem income on the version that we were playing on. Poor Biter has found a magic site in Ascends, the Forgotten Crypt. That's a few more gems for me. And then bunches of blood slaves were picked up, and then we have a battle in Ogreton. This is us attacking the orcs. And this is a massive battle, as you can see. This is all my forces that I had moved on to relieve the siege, plus all of the things coming out of the fort to break the siege. And the orcs have their big remaining army. Now, this has been seriously whittled down by this point. It's been hit over several turns by various things. chunks of it have been left behind and been taken out as we've been going along. So this is significantly smaller. It was a really massive force, but they've still got some things I'm worried about. Zog the Zod has obviously caused me a huge amount of problems in this game. They've got their god there, and he's kitted out as best they can manage to kit him out. And this is pretty decent quality troops they've got left as well. They've got tons of Night Goblin loons and things. However, what have we got? Well, we've got our front line, we've got Doom Wheels, who'll be blasting lightning. We've got some water elementals from bottles. We've got a bunch of fire snakes, loads of rats and things, obviously. Got Banefire archers, mechanical men, just a big selection of stuff. And all our flame spirits have got all their little will-o'-the-wisps. I really like flame spirits. I'd not used them very much before, but they've been really great in this game. Got a bunch of weapons teams, got a big long line of storm vermin and sacreds here, poison wind mortars, lots of blood slaves because I've set up lots of blood spells will be casting, a chunk of imps to attack, and then at the back, lots of chaff basically, and some decent quality stuff in there as well, and a lot of mages casting things. We've also got the Queen of Clouds here, who has the Staff of Storms. So the flying that they were probably hoping to do with their god and with Zug the Zod is not going to happen. They're going to be stuck there. And yeah, a lot of this is just going to be us firing off very powerful evocations. Oh, Anthrax is here as well, I should point out. So we'll be firing off lots of nasty evocations towards them and just generally chucking a lot of stuff at them. Because this is a very cool battle to watch, you can see this natural storm there by the Staff of Storms has gone up. I'm just going to put this on slow and we can just watch what happens. So we've got some kind of soul vortexes and stuff going up. My SCs are getting ready to rumble and we're starting to kick over a bunch of poison. Living Clouds and Shadow Blast. A couple of Shadow Blasts has been cast. A Flame Ward across my army. The Shadow Blasts are very nasty. You can see them plunging in, doing a lot of damage to the troops. There's some evocations just burning holes and stuff. Lots more weapons team fire coming in. Flaming Arrows has been cast. This is the Living Clouds attacking now. Just tons of air elementals. That's the Doom Wheels hurling lightning everywhere. Some Incinerates coming in. Another big Shadow Blast. A Banefire just went off. Some Magma Eruptions. Hellbind Hearts are going off, presumably just not targeting anything particularly great, but still. More Living Clouds has come in. Big expenditure of my gems here, but you can see that the Orcish line has already just started to completely melt. Zug the Zod is still fine. They've got various mages and things that are doing okay. There was a Banefire going off there, I think, roasting a bunch of people. Their god is still okay, but he's very fatigued already. Let's see what happens next. So my line is clashing with them. My troops are of superior quality at this point, so we're just rolling through them, apart from the chaffy stuff. Some evocations and things pouring in. Some soul slays going off, but they're just hitting orcs and stuff. I was hoping the soul slays would go off Zug the Zod, but I think they're out of range for that. Oh, he's cast a Blade Wind from the god. Most of their front line is now completely collapsed. The air elementals are doing great work over there. Oh, our poor Moose Knight has ended up paralysed fighting the Colossal Fetish. Or stunned, rather, I think. Zug the Zod has moved in now. Let's see how he does. Some shots falling down around him. Is he routed? Yes, even though he's got very high morale. I think we're hitting a side route here just because of the huge casualties they've taken. So, we need to deal with their god. He is fatigued out and has taken some hits already. I'm not quite sure what hit him. Should we look at the log? He's been hit by Incinerate a few times, actually. Yeah. So he did a Blade Wind, but basically he got hit with an Incinerate. He does have some fire resistance, but it's only 5, which means Incinerate's pretty good against him. It ignores all of his armour, obviously, because it burns them from the inside out. Everything's running, it's just the god left now. If only they'd been able to get a Berserk off on Zug the Zod, he probably would have caused me a few more problems. Yeah, this is all gone. Let's just see what happens with their god. So he's got a Vine Shield, so all the people around him just get vined when they try to hit him. Let's watch. In goes the another Troll Moose Knight. And he's now surrounded by stuff that's not really very dangerous to him. I think the Air Elemental might be able to hurt him because he's only got... Oh no, he's got Shock Resistance 15, so he's probably fine against that. His problem now, the spell that's going to hurt him, is Incinerate. There you saw another one just hit him. And maybe a Banefire, Got anyone casting Banefire? Alright, I'm going to speed it up. Let's see what happens. So another Incinerate hits him. He's fatigued out. He's completely safe because everything around him's vined up, and the Elemental's not able to hit him very hard. But I suspect, yeah, there's another Incinerate. That was a 35 damage one. He's only got 17 hit points left. Yeah, he's just getting hit by Incinerates. And there's the final Incinerate. He's gone. Well done to my boys. Let's have a little look at the losses. So lots of nice kills here. We can see this is from Shadow Blasts, I think. That's a Shadow Blast for sure. I think that might have been Banefire he was casting. And then this is a variety of spells from the Warlock Engineers. Some Celtic Guards and Fire Snakes, loads of giant rats. We got an Orc Biggin at some point, but I think he died. That would be from Hellbind Heart. We stole him temporarily. We lost a few other things, didn't lose any other Doom Wheels, lost some Storm Vermin. Really, really light losses considering. And then the Orcs losses obviously are hideous. And they didn't have anywhere to retreat to, so all these guys who retreated are dead, I believe. Including all these nice bosses and things. And their forces just got completely roasted. Yeah, so absolutely crushing victory for us, and I think that breaks the back of any Orcish resistance, and that's probably the end of them as a faction. Yeah, I can't complain at all. Completely successful invasion. We get to see a battle in Letia next between Slaanesh and the Lizardmen. And an interesting bug has been pointed out, which is fixed in the current version of Slaanesh, but was definitely true here, is that the Light Horsemen, Maraud Light Horsemen, are at size 2. And this is part of the reason that they were really overperforming throughout this game, these guys, because they should be size 3, so you can fit 3 of them into a square. And these ones are very experienced. This is like an expansion party from early in the game. And they're fighting the Lizardmen. So normally you'd look at this force and go, well, that's not very strong. And they're up against all these sacred troops. They're probably going to lose. Well, I don't know. They're very experienced. The Hellstriders are also turning out to be really good. If you watch the Hellstrider whacking away, let's have a quick look at the log for the Hellstrider after he's had another hit. Yeah, so he's taking these hits, but he's not really taking any damage. And then he's killing people off with his Hell Scourge. He feeble-minded someone there. Doing pretty well. Yeah, the Temple Guard are really struggling just because of the high defense of these cavalry. And the cavalry are picking them off. So yeah, victory for Slaanesh and very heavy casualties on both sides, which we love to see. Then we've got a battle in Balm. This is us sending a Vermin Lord to go and deal with a province full of their boys. Actually, a fairly significant group of them that had been... I think a lot of these had routed from a previous battle, where we'd had another Vermin Lord teleport in. But yeah, quite a tough force, but not really going to stand much of a chance against this Vermin Lord. This is Falafel the Charmer, so he's a particularly well-equipped one. And he's just going to use his Soul Vortex to just chew through all of these troops. And finish them off. Did he even take a hit during this? Let's have a look. He got hit with a couple of spells they had to resist there. I'm not sure what they were. Probably like blindness or enrage or something. Anyway, success. We've got a battle at the Fortress of Robber Homes. This is us storming another of their forts. This is the one where we just sent in our god. This is the ideal way to storm a fort like this, which hasn't really got very many mages, but it's got a whole bunch of troops. This is actually, if you look at this, this is really quite a terrifying force, or would be earlier in the game, because all of these sacreds, while they are cheap, there is a huge number of them here. This is really well capable of being a very nasty force. If this had been roaming around fighting my kind of forces that are just ranging around in their territory, would have caused a real problem. Although most of our success over the Greenskins has really come from powerful thugs, and he just never really deployed the counters for them. So let's see how our god does. Flies to the back, kills a commander. Flies over here. Getting absolutely pelted with these Loon Slime Javelins. Interesting that they flee at this point when there's still so much left to do. I'm not exactly sure why this was. I think it's possibly because of the leader dying and the leadership just falling apart. I don't know. It's kind of strange that so many of them fled at once. But yeah, not really much work for my god to do there at that point. It could have been that my god could have ended up getting chopped up a little bit by these guys because they're pretty nasty troops. Oh, lots of them were. It looked like they were starving. Some of them. Yes, there's some starvation. So maybe because their morale was messed up by starvation. I don't know though. Seems that it probably wasn't that. Anyway, all of them, because it's a fort battle, all the ones that flee just die. So, yeah, an absolutely horrendous defeat for the orcs and goblins inside that fort. 120 of their sacreds. Incredible. Then we get to see a battle in Azimar. This is a pretty gnarly fort battle. So this is one of the, I think probably the main force of the Lizardmen at the moment, taking this fort out. You can see a huge number of Slann here, so just terrifying magical firepower, including a third generation. They don't have any other second generations here, no, but look at this third generation. Oh, sorry. Click again. Look at these paths. It's got so many abilities that they're kind of running into each other. It's terrifying. And then they've got a communion of, I think, 16 or so skink priests. And on Slaanesh's side, what have they got? Well, we've got a bunch of blood magics going to be cast, got loads of cultists and things. This was obviously one of their main forts, so they've got plenty of researchers they've been casting in there. And they're casting up a Sabbath. They've got a load of demonettes ready to rumble. Demonettes are pretty nasty. They've got a good core of their Chaos Warriors. Not many of their sacreds, of course. They had that battle where their sacreds died. And we can see Foul Vapors has already gone up, so a lot of this stuff's just going to die to poison. And they've also teleported in all their Saurus of Tepok right at the start. We've got the national hero Strykar, the Prince of the Swordsmanner, and he's pretty well equipped, really, so he's going to be a bit of a problem to take out. Hasn't quite got the magic resistance that might be ideal for him, but of course with the magic scales he does have a big bonus to that. 20 is pretty good. He's got a Pendant of Luck, so he can resist some Soul Slayers and things with that. And then Pedosian Ill Earth, very chunked up, very good magic resistance. This could be a hard fight for the Lizardmen. I guess we'll see. So what's this other enchantment we've got? Foul Vapors and Relief. The Slann have cast Relief, so they're not going to be suffering from fatigue. Looks like we've got Poison Resistance. Yep, Poison Resistance has gone up for Slaanesh, so a good counter to Foul Vapors. Not a perfect counter, but a pretty good one. It looks like everyone on the Lizardman side is lucky. What other enchantments have they managed to get up? You can see they're all glowing green. So they've got them all with luck. They've got poison resistance up. I think that's just from their bless, actually. Yeah, poison resistance 15. I think that's it. What's their protection like? So they have managed to cast some natural protection stuff on them as well. Army of X. Weapons of sharpness going up. Very nasty. And astral fires. You can see how much they're struggling just to deal with, like, the Saurus of Tepok. What's this? Foul Vapors, Relief. Growing Fury cast by a Marauder Shaman. So we're going to see some berserks going off here. Now at the front, you can see that the Chaos Warriors are really struggling. They're getting chewed up and they're really struggling to do much damage to these Lizardmen with their very high protection. And having luck as well is very important for them. So yeah, we've got Ill Earth in there, we've got the Prince of the Swordsmanner in there just chopping stuff up already. I'm imagining he's going to get some good kills. Ooh, ooh. The meteors and the massive blasts of fire coming in, just the evocation these Slann can throw out is crazy. And worth remembering how fast the Slann can cast. They get these massive casting speed increases. The third generation's up to a 90%, so he's nearly twice as fast as any other mage at casting things. Pretty terrifying stuff. So the Prince of the Swordsmanner is still whirling away. I think he just got stunned there by something, and he's got Father Ill Earth next to him. Looks like the Marauder Shaman's Growing Fury has gone. He's probably dead or routed. Good lord, we've got some horrors attacking at the back here. Is this from them casting Hell Power? Maybe. It's not very good that it's attacking them and not the Lizardmen, though. Is that because they're horror marked? Yeah, there's been some horror marking going on here. And horrors prefer to attack people who are horror marked? Maybe a little bit of a suicide play here by the... Oh, Father Ilheth's starting to take some whacks. He's fighting in the corner. They're both stunned, and Strykar's also taking some hits, but they've got regeneration. But they are just... He's taking a lot of hits. Oh, he just regenerated a huge amount there, though. 59. Good lord, look at his hit points. He's done a good job building these thugs. I think they're stronger than any of my thugs, but they are, unfortunately, extremely stunned. In fact, they might be paralysed. Are they paralysed? Not sure. But the damage is mounting up, the afflictions are mounting up. Even with all of their regen, is it going to be enough? I don't know. They're getting absolutely... just having stuff hurled down on them. They're enraged. Oh, even with 28 protection, he's just getting hit so hard. It's the weapons of sharpness on these guys, I imagine. They got weapons of sharpness? Not sure. Prince of the Swordsman was doing fantastic until he seems to have just been paralysed, I think. I can't see the icon for that to show that he's paralysed, but his defense is... Oh, he's petrified, that's why. Yeah, okay, they hit him with the petrify, which he resisted, but he got turned to stone. So while he's attempting to come out of that, he has come out of it now. He's back in the fight on 2 hit points. Come on, you can do it, I believe in you. 12 hit points. Look at him go. And this whole time, I guess they could get some lucky foul vapors to maybe do some damage to the Lizardmen. I doubt it, though. These horrors have basically just been attacking, I think, the side that summoned them. Soul Tawns, good lord. He's still going. Let's speed this up. What an incredible comeback. He's just hovering around 12 hit points still. He's occasionally healing up a bit more, but then he's taking more damage. But he's just putting on such a good fight. You love to see it. I think we might have some mass regen up as well. Yeah, we do. We're seeing some regeneration has been put up. Put it on max speed. What a good effort. Unfortunately, he finally dies. Wow, it's just the Lizardmen showing the power of having all of those battlefield enchantments and buffs going off. It's just incredible, really. So what do they lose? None of their really good stuff. They lose a Law Scale of Tepok, a Null Scale, 16 Skink Braids, so their entire communion burned out. That's not surprising. But then troops-wise, they really didn't lose much at all. A handful of their sacreds, but you know they had 161 Temple Guard there, and they lost 10 because of all those enchantments, and they were up against some serious stuff there, but they just couldn't compete with it. I don't really fancy fighting these massive and scary Lizardman forces. They've done their research, and they're just super strong. We've got Bubonic Plague in Kratos. Lost some taxes in. We lose a Warpstone Seam as well, but we gain a Warpstone Seam. We lose a Warpstone Seam. Good lord. An assassination. Ooh, who's getting assassinated? A Plague Janter. I don't really care about that. That's fine. An unexpected event in White Forest. A hurricane. So we're still getting bad events, but this is fine. Bad luck and death event coming up in 3 months. Don't really care about that. Fortifications wise, we're destroying the one in Suthu, and Sulfurian Greenskins are unharmed. We need to crack these quick. And then we've got Griffin Rock, diseases spreading, I'll deal with that, and the troops in Klon are starting to starve. Why are they starting to starve? Is it because there's a huge number of rats sitting around here? The answer is yes. Could one of you... Mariska, my friend, could you take these little ratties out of here, please? So what are we doing this turn? Well, the big thing is obviously we're casting this massive Dispel with Thanquol. Where are you, Thanquol? He is... somewhere around here. There he is. There's Thanquol. I've put all my Astral boosters on him. He's up to Astral 7, and he is blasting a high-powered Dispel at the Arcane Nexus to get rid of it. It's really, really overcast. I've used all my Astral Pearls, and I alchemized a ton of death gems and fire gems because I have ridiculous income, 45 and 56 per month of those. So if we need to do that again, we can. We can keep doing it to get rid of Arcane Nexus, but I think that that's the correct thing to do for now. And then the next thing I'm doing really is thinking about how I'm going to win the game, because I don't want to fight the Lizardmen in a fair war at all. So how am I going to win the game before I have to fight the Lizardmen? Well, if we have a little look at the Thrones of Ascension, we need 13 to win the game. We currently own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so not quite halfway. However, we have control of the Throne of the Sun, which is worth 3. So 6 plus 3, we're claiming that this turn. That's down here. Trufflepuff is claiming the Throne of the Sun. So if we claim that, we're on 9. So we only need 2 more thrones that are worth 2 each. One of the thrones that is worth 2 each is here, Sulfuria, and we can move a lot of stuff onto that very quickly. And the other throne that's worth 2, and that we'll be going after, is here, Slanesh's throne in Red Mines. Now, I don't know if they're going to realise that that's what I'm doing this turn. Possibly, I should, in fact, not claim this throne, because it makes it more obvious what I'm doing, right? If I claim this 3-point throne, people will see the announcement I've claimed it and start paying attention more to what's happening. So, in fact, what I'm going to do is not claim the throne this turn. I'm just going to have Trufflepuff research and wait to claim it. Just recruiting some more stuff to protect it. And yes, in fact, since this is a throne and I would just want to be able to withstand sieges, what I should do is just recruit slaves. Slaves, and do we have anyone who helps with defense? Not really. Let's have slaves and rats. There we go. And we can move more forces in there to protect it. But basically what I want to do is have my forces in place to... I want to take this and have a caster, a Holy 3 there ready to take it. And then I'm not going to claim it yet. I'm going to claim it once I've got those two, claim them, and I'm going to go for this throne here. So I'm moving my forces in place to go after this throne. Once Arcane Nexus is down, I have access to my teleports and things like that. I've got, with the Boots of the Messenger, this Vermin Lord can immediately move onto here. So he can be my storming force. All I need to do is make sure that I take it, pull the walls down immediately, and then immediately storm it with a powerful thug or something like that. And hopefully we'll be able to take that and then claim it. And yeah, that's my hope to try and win. Let's see if we can get that without people noticing what we're doing. So yeah, we're not going to claim this one yet because that would give our game away a little bit. Elsewhere, am I doing anything to go to war with the Lizardmen or anything like that? Well, it would be a good distraction, but I'm not going to do it this turn. I think maybe next turn I'll attack them, given that I'm just doing the Dispel this turn. What I'm going to do is concentrate on trying to take Greenskins north and trying to take Sulfuria over here. There's not much else for me to do. There's a bit of like potential mopping up of Greenskins down here, but interestingly, Ulthuan has come out and besieged the Greenskins down here. It's the AI's final revenge for the High Elves. Are they going to survive to the end of the game? Well, if my plan succeeds, then yes, they probably will, and that'd be kind of interesting to see. I'm not forging or casting anything this turn because of Arcane Nexus being up, except for some blood spells. I am doing some Hordes from Hell, which will just give me more things to speed up these sieges and taking these places. And then I will probably move my blood boosters across and then move them on to these guys over here, Red Claws. And should we get another Vampire? Vampires are very useful. And they are bloods, they don't give away anything on Arcane Nexus. So probably we should have another Vampire. Curse of Blood. Oh, we can't do Curse of Blood because... What would we need to do Curse of Blood? We'd need to have that and a Brazen Vessel. I thought that I had enough to equip them to do this. Previously I was using the ring to do it, but of course I've got the ring on Thankwell. Ah, here we go. There is a Brazen Vessel over here that he doesn't need to be holding to cast Horde from Hell. So let's move this across to get him barge. Brazen Vessel. And he can now cast, unless I've still not got enough. Curse of Blood. There we go. So we'll have another Vampire. The Vampire, of course, with just one booster can cast Horde from Hell. Casting a ton of Horde from Hells is useful to quickly take this. And and I should do some stuff to distract the Lizardmen and try and prevent them from stopping me from getting this throne. Okay, I guess we'll see how my plan goes. That's enough for this turn. I will see you next turn. Thank you. Right, it's turn number 64. Let's crack on. So we start off with the spells. We've got a Horde from Hellcast and Thanquol cast Dispel. This is very important. We overcast this by 70 Astral Gems, and it failed to take down Arcane Nexus. At this point, I am not going to make a second attempt at taking down Arcane Nexus. I'm going to try and remove Arcane Nexus by winning the game instead. So that is our focus, and we're going to have to accept just forging some things and casting some spells that will give the Lizardmen gems. So they're going to be making a big profit of Arcane Nexus, but we need to be able to use our abilities to get in position to win the game. That's our plan now. We got another Curse of Blood, that's another Vampire Lord, and we got another Horde from Hell. Then we've got our Blood Hunting, not much going on in the way of battles this turn. Let's have a look. Vintus, the Adept of the Silver Order, was suddenly attacked by 3 Bellymore Horrors and was brutally murdered. That's fine. It's not great to lose these, but given that we're now looking at ending the game as quickly as we can, it's not so important individual mage losses and things, and we've got to keep things in the perspective of trying to win. Then we get to see some battles between various enemies of ours, Slaanesh and the Lizardmen. Slaanesh attacking in Gwelledun with a small force. It's good to see them fighting back. The Lizardmen really are making a big doom stack that's obviously going and taking their forts and things like that, but Slaanesh is in a position to deal with some of these provinces and take them back. So they took some province defense out there. And over here, a more powerful force, but again, it's just against province defense. So we don't need to watch that. So a force of Chaos Warriors and scattered other bits and pieces. The Orcs relieved the siege from the High Elves. So this is the biggest remaining Orc force. It's led by Ashag the Slaughterer, who has got pretty nice items and caused me some trouble earlier on. And they are attacking just this single, the AI-controlled thug that the AI has constructed, which is a prophetized Prince and a Great Eagle with a Snake Bladder Stick, Fire Bowler, Enchanted Helmet, and Armor of Knights. Is this a good thug? Well, he's got Reinvigoration. He has very nice stats, very high defense skill. He poisons everything. He has poison resistance, so he's not going to die from the poison probably. It's not a bad thug. I think the AI has done a pretty good job there, to be honest. Let's see how it works. I think Ashag might just go and stab it in the head, though. So he blesses himself. Is he going to take off? No, he's casting Smite. So here the AI has not scripted him correctly. He shouldn't be smiting. He should be going off and hitting people with a Snake Bladder Stick. But we'll see. Word of Stone. In comes Ashag. Ashag lands. How's he doing so far? He's taken some hits, and that's because he doesn't have the best protection. So when he does get hit, he is going to take damage. Let's speed this up. Snake Bladder Stick is going off and gassing people up, but he's just taking damage from basic troops, which is not a good sign for a thug, and he's dead. But look at all that poison damage from the Snake Bladder Stick and some Divine Vengeance. Nice to see. May have to deal with some Orcs attacking us, but I don't predict that's going to be a huge problem for us. Unexpected events. The Plague turned out to not be true, which is nice. We got a Warpstone Seam. We got another Warpstone Seam. That is a huge amount of extra gems. Shame that the Lizardmen are going to be getting a big portion of these. In Llama, we got an Earthquake, and we got some Fire Gems. Nothing terribly exciting. Rubber Home. Yeah, overall, maybe that's good. I'm not sure. Where is Rubber Home? One of our forts. This is a fort where we're actually now recruiting Jade Sorceresses, or we were. We got one at least. It's not so important at this point, again, what we're recruiting. I'm not paying that much attention to it in terms of individual mages. And this is our... so Sulfuria is the throne that we're trying to take off the Greenskins, so still destroying that one. The walls are severely damaged, so we should pop that next turn. We've got a lot of extra troops moving in, so that should do it. And Greenskins North, same thing, so we should be able to pop that. That's less important for our plan, obviously, taking the capital, but it's still nice to do. The entrance to the fortification of Suthu has been breached, and I'm sending in a breaching force. That's an unrelated fort that's up here. So you can see my castle storming is basically loads of mages, and that shouldn't be very difficult to take at all. Still no action with the Lizardmen. Just finishing off the last of our messages. Yeah, this is just patrolling, so that's fine. We have the Lizardman God exposed here. it's about to get Scaly the Feathered Serpent. Now, how strong is the Feathered Serpent? I'm going to go and look him up in the mod inspector for a moment and look for any weaknesses that might be able to exploit. So interestingly, the Feathered Serpent has low base hit points, only 20, although he will be in positive dominion and probably quite high positive dominion looking at where he is. Well, some of the provinces nearby are not that high, but maybe he'll have like 35, 40 hit points. So possibly we could get him with a whole load of Seeking Arrow spam. We could get him with an Earth attack maybe if he's not geared up. It would be nice to kill their god, and it would be funny. So maybe let's try and do that. So let's get Ratto Fourtails to throw in an Earth attack on top of him. Of course, they're going to get gems for me doing this, but that's a bit unavoidable. And have we got anyone nearby who can do Seeking Arrows? Let's see what the range on a Seeking Arrow is first. So Seeking Arrows are 3 air, and the range, I'm going to have to get a 3 air person to check this. Hala. How far does a Seeking Arrow go? 3 provinces. Not really in a position to hit them with a ton of Seeking Arrows then. So is an Earth attack going to be enough? Well, he's a flyer, which makes it a bit harder for the... he's got high defense, which makes it difficult for the Earth Elemental to trample him, but possibly an Earth Elemental could kill him. It would be tipping our hands to the Lizardmen that we're back at war. I'm not really intending to have a traditional war with the Lizardmen. I kind of just want to win out of nowhere. I do have forces in position that I could be annoying to them and cause them problems, and maybe if I attacked them en masse, it would be a big distraction, which would prevent them from seeing what I'm doing with the thrones. But maybe it would draw their attention to me, and then they would notice that what I'm doing with the thrones. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I don't really want to draw them away from their war with Slaanesh. And I don't have a huge number of things nearby that can hit them with loads of Seeking Arrows. It would be nice to have stuff in place to hit with Seeking Arrows, and so maybe I'm going to Cloud Trapeze some of my boys over in the... Where's the fort? That's them, the throne fort there, yeah. Maybe I'll Cloud Trapeze out a bunch of these guys. That gives away gems, of course, but it would put our guys in more of a position to be an annoyance to the Lizardmen. This seems to be the place that would be able to hit deepest into their empire over here, so... yeah, perhaps we'll do that. Let's get these guys going. Oh, and where I can, I'll use teleport because that doesn't give any gems to the Lizardmen. So we can teleport over to Suthu, which we're about to take. We can't reach Greenskins North, but we can go to Suthu. We could go to Lost Lands as well. I think we'll go to Suthu. So we'll teleport in there. Who else can teleport? You are casting a Dome of Arcane Warding. Yeah, so I'm doming my various throne provinces. I've got a Dome of Arcane Warding going up here. I've got a... Do I want to do a dome here? Oh, he's moving down here. He's going to do a dome. Yeah, so we'll get a dome up here. Dome of Arcane Warding, I believe, is 4 astral. Do we have any blood domes? We've got Dome of Corruption. Created the dome will occasionally attack and consume a mage. The dome will dissolve instantly. The cast of the ritual dies. The Chorus create a dome that protects the province most of the ritual outside the warded province. Trying to cast through and may drive the casting mage insane. Interesting. So we could potentially get some domes of corruption up using our vermin lords. I don't think we've got the items at the moment to do this. No, we're using them elsewhere to cast domes, but we'll get a dome up here. So we've got a Dome of Arcane going up there. We've got on this throne over here. Have we got anything? Are there any fire domes we can cast? Nope. Bath of Flames possibly at some point. Interesting. We're building a lot of troops in our thrones just to be siege defense. In fact, over here, I'm just going to want a load of slaves. This has like no supplies, so they will end up starving unless we send nature mages over there. So maybe I want to start moving nature mages because I don't really care that much about the research they're outputting at the moment. I also don't entirely... Yeah, we want a load of items to avoid our troop charging actually for the sieges. So I don't really care about the Lizardmen getting the nature gems from this. Let's just put some hammers on them and forge some more endless bags of wine because it makes sense to do so. Let's get those, and then we'll have these mages moving over there. It's a good idea for me to have as many mages as I can and as many troops as I can reinforcing all my thrones. So we've got the throne up there. We've got our throne here, which is getting a dome. We've got our throne down here, which will be getting a dome at some point. So we certainly want to get an air dome up there as well. We can do that with our Queen of Elemental Airs, that one of them can move over there and do that, so that's fine. We can also do the same over here. We want to make sure we can also put a Dome of Arcane Warding up there, which we may be going to be able to. Yeah, with 2 boosters, one of these Astral Mages can do it. Have we got any other mages that could go over there and make sure they can do it? Well, Trufflepuff could go over there. We're moving Clawdoom down here. He is going to be able to claim the throne there. We need a H3 there, so it's good to have him there to claim that throne. Trufflepuff could go and join this siege over here, because then he'll be able to put a dome up more easily than the other mages. So I think I'll do that. I'm also summoning up another Vermin Lord, Contact Vermin Lord, even though that's going to give, again, some stuff to the Lizardmen, because I think if I have a couple of Vermin Lord here to teleport, we can have a go at teleport taking this throne, which will be very hard, but we can just hurl ourselves into it, and then that gives us another threat to try and win the game if they manage to take one of our other thrones off us. So, yeah, quite a few different plans. Obviously, we're building up forces here to try and take this throne as well. And lots of them, whenever they can, are hiding, so that there's not quite as many showing as there normally would be. I don't think we need all of these guys patrolling, so I'm going to have you hide instead. And here, yeah, we're okay with this. And we're sneaking some blood slaves out. So we're moving more troops into these. We're building a lab here because it will help us build up a big load of mages next to this throne. Lots of them are moving in there. Don't think we've got any more troops to move in. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, lots moving in. I guess we could get our lad over here in position. What's our research at the moment? Well, we're getting evocation. We were trying to get evocation level 8 to cast Maelstrom, but it's not a good idea anymore. We could keep going and try to get flames from the sky. Basically, I think the game will end before we get up there and are casting that, but possibly that would be something to do. Another alternative is to research something a bit easier. Is there anything at Alteration 7 that we can pick up that would be really good? Phoenix Pyre would be very nice on various thugs that I have. Nothing else there is particularly important for us. Fog Warriors is obviously very strong if we can cast it with our Queen of Elemental Air. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably so we've got 1997 left on that. Yeah, let's get our alteration to 8 and then sorry, our evocation is level 8 and then do alteration level 7. That's fine. Our research is kind of stalling out because we're just moving tons of mages all over the place. That's fine. Forging some more items to equip up our teleporting Vermin Lord squad that are going to go after the throne down here. And hopefully will be a surprise to everyone. I think this throne is too heavily fortified. There's just too much stuff in there. It would take me too long to crack into that one. I could have a go at it, but I don't think it's a good idea. And I really want to be polishing things off in the next couple of turns, basically. So, yeah, that's the plan. I thought I had more domes going up than this, but I can't find where the people are who were casting them. So just to go over our throne options again, we've got Sulfuria we're cracking into. We've already got Green Dead. We haven't claimed it yet, but we're moving an H3 down there who will then claim it. It hasn't quite got enough defense to keep it up in the case of a siege, but we're doing more now. Got a little bit left over, I can put some more slaves. And we will be able to move some more troops that direction. Longtooth is moving out to this throne. I think instead his band of merry fools are going to be moved back into this throne to protect it. This one's more vulnerable because it's near the Lizardmen, but we've got a bigger army already moving there and hordes from hell being cast on it. Okay, I think that's more or less everything. We'll just have to see how this plan works out. I don't really feel like going into a late war battle with the Lizardmen as they've had an Arcane Nexus up for ages and trying to fight them with conventional means, but I will if necessary. I think we're just going to really focus on constantly going for thrones and trying to get that throne victory as soon as possible. Thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you next time.